I did. I got Brad Walker over here. Yeah, I appreciate that. And then suddenly it's like, not talking to us. You go sign up, Caroline. He presented a really nice job. Curtis, do you remember? I'm Bud's paper there. Oh, you're many hours. See, but I was surprised everything goes full circle. I'm trying to look like that's new. So you know you're going to we thank you for the opportunity for us to come together to try our best to try to better Bluefield. Lord God, we thank you for different opinions, different perspectives, Lord God. But we're asking that you continue to guide us so that we can do what's best for these people, so that in the future, when we look back, you will be proud, we'll be proud of the things that we've done. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll meet the order. Public comments are first, and we have Charles Brandon. Yeah. Mr. Brandon, good to see you, sir.
I still have the recurring problem on Corner Street of the leaves not getting taken out of that ditch up there. I've got pictures here. The tree lawn was supposed to be here, and we not. Let's see. I gave him the pictures last night that happened on the 15th, and if anybody wants to see these, I mean, I can't put them on a big screen for you. I can show you. And Cecil knows I stood out in that street for hours to keep that storm drain open. So, because if you can't keep that drain open out the bottom of that hill, the water don't go in the pipe. And then it goes down through my yard and it floods over on Large Street. And it's very simple to me. Why would you want to put 10 people up on that ditch, cleaning it out after it floods, after it washes out, when you can do, y'all got a leaf truck?
Yes, sir, we do.
When do you use it?
We use it probably in the fall, sir.
Haven't seen it on Corner Street, period. Maybe one time since I lived there.
Well, they do go over there, sir. I mean, right now the guys are paving today, so they're paving and just understand, and we'll talk to you and look at it. I've got Curtis here, or my deputy, probably the first guy. But hey, I've been down in your area, sure you've seen it 100,000.
You drove by in the middle of the night, I'm standing out in the street trying to keep the drain open.
Yes, sir.
And because if it don't get kept open, bad things happen,
Yes,
you know.
Yes, sir.
But it just keeps happening. We need to fix it.
Yeah, and we're working on that. That's why we're doing a stormwater system down in your entire area. That's why we're going through the planning to get the stormwater system fixed, and our guys are doing everything that they can. There's a lot to fix in this city, and that's not the only storm drain you got to address. There's quite a few.
I understand that, but it's not the storm drain, it's the ditch.
The ditch, yeah.
That's top of the hill.
Yes, sir.
It runs all the way down that mountain. And then when you get up to the top, me and Justin Simons got those at the top.
Yes, sir.
Tried to get it open on the 15th. That drain, that crossover pipe goes under the road and it goes to a drop box there, goes down, and then it goes out. There's no way to get a pipe or anything up through there to clean that thing out. From the bottom, and you can't find it. I've got pictures. You can't find it when it's raining. But those guys come back through there and then you had a crew in there spent all day long for something that if there had been suck the leaves out, and if you can't get the leaves out there, build snow fence up there or something to hold the leaves back, keep them out of the ditch. Because every time it rains, it's the same thing. So guess who don't sleep good when forecast says it's gonna rain hard? Me.
I'll see back there here, sir. I get you. I get you. And sir, we'll work on it. That's why we're doing some of the things we're doing here in the next few minutes, but we're trying to get all this infrastructure fixed. That's why.
I mean, I understand that, but in lieu of getting that done, it's kind of ridiculous on my end to have to do that. I'm not on the city's payroll.
Oh, and we greatly appreciate all the help you've given us down there, and I appreciate you. We were talking a stormwater team, there's 6 guys.
I've talked to every one of them, and I know who they are, and they're good people. But if they have to work for somebody.
Yeah, they work for us.
Where are the leaves coming from?
Oh, it's just trees all up, and it's just all the foliage.
Have you ever driven up Full Street to the top?
No.
Need that drive.
It's a heavily wooded area, man.
It goes up to that upper entrance on that part.
Yeah.
You get all the way up there. And then, but the other thing, there's collateral damage on the street. When they paved it, they seamed it down the middle. Because the water run down through there 3 or 4 times over the winter, it's broken up from the part where it starts up. It's all broke up, and the guys already been up there and took pictures of it because you got a big pothole running straight down the middle of the road.
Well, sir, the board meeting over, Curtis, and I'll sit down with you. We'll talk.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, minutes, and a motion to approve the minutes from the board of directors meeting on March 25th, 2025. So then there's a motion and a second. Any questions, comments, or revisions? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye. Aye. New business, second reading of an ordinance authorizing the sale and transfer of the assets of the wastewater collection and treatment system of the city of Bluefield, West Virginia to West Virginia American Water Company, approving the terms of said sale, providing for a public hearing, authorizing the execution and delivery of certain documents in connection with the transaction, and setting forth other matters related thereto. So we had the public hearing last night.
Yeah, Mayor, yes, Mayor, we did. We had a public hearing last night as set forth in the state statute governing this issue. We had the first reading at the last meeting. This is the second reading. Subject to board vote today. If there is, if the board is inclined to vote yay on this today, there is a corollary vote that's being taken regarding the Bluefield Sanitary Board of Bluefield Inc., a Virginia corporation, which is the entity that owns the real estate along the West Side Treatment Plant is situated. As shareholders ex officio of that corporation, this board will also need to vote in that capacity to approve the corporation's transfer of that real estate asset in the event the board votes today to sell the overall system assets. So we can do it at the same time, we can take 2 separate votes.
We should take 2 separate votes.
I would, 2 separate votes would probably be best, just so we can.
Right. Any other questions or comments? Go ahead.
Can I just want, I have a whole bunch of things that I need to ask about this, if that's okay. I didn't write my name down on the sheet here. I've got several things I just want to go over. About the sell water.
What's your name?
Jonathan Seabolt. And I chatted with Daniel earlier, and he even said, you know, maybe I just want to talk because I think that a lot of problems in this town are lack of communication, perhaps a little bit of lack of transparency. And I think that just having this stuff open, if I'm wrong on some of the information, I would love to hear it. I'd love to hear how. This is just based on me looking things. I don't even who else voting. I need to know. Is there right? Okay. I just want to make sure who I'm looking at, but I'm not whatever. So if there's anybody in the sanitary board here, with stuff, if I'm wrong, correct me on this. Two things in particular last night that they talked about that were not true is that they said they don't do layoffs. And I'm not sure if you guys are, I don't work for the sanitary board, by the way, I'm just looking out.
When you're talking about they,
who live here.
when you say they, you're talking about West
American
Virginia.
Water, yes, yeah. And I don't know if you all are familiar with, Public Service Council case number 11-0740-W-C. But it is where they tried to eliminate, 10% of their employers. They were going to get rid of that, and then the union of the workers got together, of course, they stopped that. But that's not entirely true. Whether it stopped or not is irrelevant. It's the fact that they did try to do this. So to flat out say we don't do layoffs is not an accurate statement. It was decline, like the people, I think, ended up having their jobs. The other thing that's a little concerning is this company, American Water, the parent company, buys out hundreds of these companies. And I'm confused as to how they buy these companies out. And they had 7,000 employees in 2020 and they have 6,500 now. How are you buying out entities and have less employees if you're not getting rid of people? They also do a lot of job eliminations. This is in this affidavit. You can read the whole case number. They get rid of job positions and then they try to basically force people to relocate to positions. So Sally, the secretary, it's got a bum leg. It's like, we don't need a secretary anymore because we're going to outsource all this to Charleston. You can go out and do line work. I don't think it's called line work, but however the terminology is for like people are laying lines. It's like, you can't do that. Well, it sounds like you quit. And that's a little alarming to me from that standpoint. I think that to flat out say that you don't do layoffs when you literally did, it's documented via law, that's a little alarming. The other thing is that I found really, I actually have a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to waste a lot of your time here. The other thing that's really crazy is that they talk about how everybody's rate is the same. And while that is technically true, on their website, you can go and look that while the rate for the water coming into your house is the same, this is from their website. Rates may differ based on the size of the water meter at the customer's property. The cost of providing water service can vary between different communities, leading to a different rate, which it says different rate in its own thing. Surcharges. Some customers, particularly those receiving service under operation and maintenance agreements with the company, may be subject to surcharges in addition to the standard metered water rate. And then in rate increases, it says, again, directly on their website, individual customers may receive increases that are greater or less than the average rate increase. And so, again, everybody pays the same. They also said that people now, somebody asked last night, what are people paying now? They said $72 for 3,000 gallons. So we're to expect to believe that in 2029, a company that has requested multiple increases over the last 4 years is not going to have an increase until 2029. And then when that happens, maybe they'll get it. There's no way they're staying at that cost. Everywhere is increasing. There's no way that they're going to stay at that cost. So I just have a lot of concerns about that. And again, I feel like that's where there's a lot of stuff that's not really communicated. I know that you guys probably see a lot more ins and outs. You're dealing with people, but people in the community don't get to see that stuff, and it would be nice. Nitro, West Virginia, sold to American Water. Their bills were expected to go from $45 for 3,400 gallons used to $83. Their minimum bill possibility, so just for having water connected to their house, was $28. That's the minimum bill you can pay if you want to run water. That goes from $28 to $61 after the buyout. And none of this information is communicated. And you have people saying all the rates are the same, but there's a lot of bullet points to that aren't really told to people. So I think it would be a good opportunity to have a little bit of transparency as to what's going on so we can understand what's happening, because everything that I've read from their own website is that stuff they were saying in the meeting last night is not even true. That's all I have. You guys know that I love you guys. I come from a place of passion, but that's all I have to say. It's insane to me.
Well, I can't speak to the affidavit, haven't read that. Different than, you're concerned about the employees. So first off, they're contractually obligated to set up a Southern Regional facility here. Contractually obligated for 20 years. So whether that's a new building or renovation somewhere here in the town, we're working through that to make that decision. They will be here. Different than now, you will have a place to go. You'll have a place to go talk to somebody face to face. They are contractually obligated for 3 years at the bare minimum to employ all our employees. All right, all those employees will retroactively move, if they choose to do so, will go work for American Water and do the $35 million worth of projects we're going to get done over the next 5 years. So it was under very close consideration for us to make sure that our employees were taken care of the work at the sanitary board. I can't speak to the prices in Nitro. That deal's not done, right? But when they do when they go and buy these different systems, to be quite frank and honest, the deal we're getting is because our system is in such good shape because of the employees. Most of the systems they're buying are distressed. DEP, the EPA are coming in there and they're basically the wolves are at the municipality because the place has been run poorly. I can't speak to the Nitro deal. I know it's not done. I know there were rumors that there's been 3 rate changes since they had their vote. That's not true. I looked into it and that's still going through the PSC. So that deal is not done. The board has done, I think, everything we can. We talked a lot of this last night to be transparent, but are the rates going to go up over the next 20, 30 years? Yes, they will always go up. But what we have right now is until 1 Jan 2029, the rates will stay the exact same as the sanitary board and this board had approved about 8 months ago. Do I expect in 2029 when they finally take over that? Yes, it'll get more in line with the state. So those rates will go up. But we'll have $35 million worth of projects done in the city. The city will wisely use those funds and our employees will be taken care of. And that is kind of the current state of play of where we are. And as we talked about last night, this board spent a lot of time, 1.5 years, working through this decision. And we are trying our absolute best to get this to where it needs to be to take care of them, to address what Mr. Brand talked about right there with this problem with the leaves. Here's the challenge, right? We've got close to $100 million worth of infrastructure in the city that needs to be replaced and fixed. And if you watch the news right now, grants are not coming as fast and furious. We had a very successful, lucky run here the last 4 or 5 years getting grants in. That may continue, it may not. We were going to try like that to make it continue. But there are some changes out there. All that being set aside, we have a big road to climb to get our infrastructure, and then we bring in the business. That's why we're going to introduce Mr. Sam Wolford here shortly. But we got to grow this city. We got to speed up and get it set where it needs to go. And we got to take care of our employees, and we got to take care of our citizens. But we got to make some hard decisions here and try to move forward and get this city where it needs to be for the long term, so the generations after us have a place to come to. And that's what I think about. Like I said before, everybody's got a family in this area. 2 of our board, one of them's got a new kid, just came in. One of them's got 2 young kids in college. I've got 2. My son went to Bluefield High. I want a place they can come back to. I've got a young man here, Trenton Burnett, that graduated Bluefield High, finished W and came back here to work. I just went to grad school. He wants to come back. So we've got to take some hard steps to make sure that in 10, 15, 20 years, it's a great place for everybody to come to and do that. And that's why we're moving down this path. But man,
That's the second time you said luck has brought those. I mean, luck means work. And yes, that is what's brought that in there. But there's been an awful lot of people, a lot of them in this room that have done an awful lot of work to bring these grants and the things that have come into this city. It requires money, it requires work, and it requires dedication from the people in the city to get this stuff done. And so I'm proud of what we've done. I'm also proud of where we are with this agreement to allow the city to move forward. We've taken care of the employees. We've taken care of all the things that could be thought of in this agreement. And honestly, there's no guarantee that we wouldn't be doing another rate increase as well. In fact, I feel confident that we would be doing another rate increase because everything continues to increase. Electricity continues to go up. Chemicals continue to go up. The system that we use, as you heard them discuss last night, is a chemical-based system. They're going to a UV base. That's where we all should be, as a UV base. So to say that it's not been well reasoned or well thought out is not accurate. And
No, I'm not saying that it's not well thought out. I just think that there's a lot of stuff that's not being conveyed to people like that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you guys didn't think it out. I think you guys do a great job. And I know that you probably disagree with me saying that because of stuff that I'll say, but I do. I think you guys do a good job. I just think that there's a lot of area or room for improvement for communication from our leaders to the citizens.
appreciate that and noted. I mean, we have open forum meetings. We're online. Things are in the newspaper. We put out bullet points. I don't know what else other than going door to door and knocking on doors what we could do. I mean, it's on Facebook.
I'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute. We're doing some more social media, but we have, you all are quite tired of seeing my face on TV. All right. But we have beat the brush as best we can with the board and we text this morning, anything on grades and Bryan streets. We're doing everything in our human power to reach every citizen here to get communicated out what we are trying to do as a collective. And I'll show you some things here in a few minutes. Some really great talented people have put together, but we are really doing our absolute darndest to make sure that you know exactly what's going on in the city while we're doing what we're doing and get that
I
information.
venture to say we have more transparency than any other municipality in our area as far as the methods of communication. That was one of the things when we first took seat, is that we wanted this stuff online. We wanted this meeting online so that people could watch it at their leisure, because not everybody is available at the same time to be here. So text my gov, all of those things were done to bring everyone together and be able to communicate and see what we're doing. So if anybody has other ideas of things that we can do, then I'm sure that we're more than willing to look at it.
Absolutely.
And I'll just add to that too, and I don't talk very often, but I'll add to that I think that we're as transparent as we can be, but then on top of that, we're available. So there's not a time that you can't walk in and ask Cecil or give him like a suggestion. So I think that sometimes you can have information overload, and sometimes information overload can be not progressive. So at any point, if you do have a suggestion or something to say, we're available for that as well. So I think that if you want to know some information, then the people that want to know come ask, and then they will receive an answer. We can't answer a question that we don't know what that question a lot of times.
And we've had more town halls than anybody that I know of. We're always available. So,
Mayor,
yes,
as not just an employee of the city, but as a resident of the city for the last 35 years, this is probably the smartest decision that I've seen any of the boards make since I've been employed here or lived here. It just makes the most sense in the world. And I applaud you for doing it.
I appreciate
As a resident, not as much as an employee, but as a resident.
I've had the same discussion with a number of people. I mean, so many that I can't even name all of them. So I appreciate you saying that. But all right, so I'm going to call for a motion to approve the second reading. So moved. A motion and a second. Are there any other questions, comments, or discussions? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, so that's approved. Now, what form would you like the shareholder approve?
I think in just the same form, just let the record reflect that now the board is the exit shareholder, the Sanitary Board of Bluefield, Virginia Corporation is taking a vote now as shareholders of that corporation to authorize the corporation to execute necessary documents, transfer that real estate asset as part and parcel of the sale of the Sanitary Board. So.
What he said.
So moved to that.
So have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. All right, thank you all. All right, approval of quotes for the purchase of a tandem truck for public works.
Thank you, Mayor. The public works team, working with the treasury department, went through, we got 3 quotes for a tandem truck. As we discussed earlier, this will be used only for paving, all the road work, the park work, really a vital asset for my public works team and all the work they're doing for our great citizens. So we had 3 quotes come in, 3 freight liners. One is, 184,490. The other one is 167,900, and the last quote we got was for $149,935.36. This is out of Calvert City, Kentucky, at TAC Truck Center. Based off the same part of all the vehicles and the price, our recommendation is we go to the one from Calvert City, Kentucky, the TAC Truck Center, for $149,935.36. A great thankful contribution from the Shop Foundation. Will cover $125,000 worth of this purchase. And we will use a small portion of the opioid funds, about 24,000, close to 25,000 to cover the rest.
And all 3 trucks are available now.
This truck's available now. We will go pick it up with your all's approval, sir.
Awesome. I have a motion to approve the purchase of Canon truck from Ag Truck Center in the amount of $149,935.36.
Still moving.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions, comments? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you all. Miss Kelly, I'm the label levy again.
Well, not exactly, but we do have to sell it. It's the third Tuesday of every April, every city and state, it's the exact same thing, but 80% whatever time you want to be on
So Peter says he's not available for you both available. Next week. 6:30. AM? Sure.
Next Tuesday, sure.
I can do 6:30 PM, no, we do 8, we did 8 much to do it. 8 AM is 8, all right, or you want to not.
Let's do 9.
You're asking, I'm gonna tell you.
I'll make you work anyway, so now. All right, 9 AM it is.
I will see you there.
Thank you, Kelly. All right. Financial summary.
Still 1 month behind, this is the February summary, that was supposed to have been given. But. You know what happens. This is, like I say, February 2025. It's the 8th month of the fiscal year. Revenue collected total for the year, total $9,804,000, which is 68.7% of the projected amount. And expenditures total $9,357,000, which is 56% of the projected budget. In February, we typically are still wrapping up the receipt of the B&O tax. And that, I think in February, it says here that it was $258,000, which was fourth quarter 24 B&O tax. Within that month, we also got a $20,000 contribution for the police department. And you can see some of the payments there that I've listed that we did in 2025. Wasn't just those payments are just the general fund, but there's also some ARPA payments in there, and yeah, that's all. And then the donated funds there for Sparks of Play. They had 2 payrolls in that month. Payroll and benefits $715,000, and we're still watching very closely.
Right back, the launch.
So,
So do I have a motion to approve the February 2025 financial summary as presented? Motion in a second. Any questions or comments for Calvin? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Collections list.
yes, we had discussed, I think, several months ago, we're going to continue to do collections. We're just not going to get the approval to get it. This is the collection list we'd like to send over to Fischenberger and Behringer. It totals almost $180,000, $179,948. They have been vetted as of yesterday evening. There's no payments that didn't make all these. We had about 5 or 6 that did make payments.
It's always amazing that $180,000 can fit on one page. I mean,
That was fun.
I know, but, I mean, it just goes to the discussion last night about the number of folks that are not doing these things.
And of course, this is not our entire list. We all do a part of that, better.
All right, the motion to approve the collection list as presented. A motion and a second. Questions or comments? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye. Aye. Right. And Cecil.
Okay. John, his scroll forward, please, sir. Keep going. Oh, just down a notch. So to get to some of the questions y'all brought about transparency and informing the public, Marion, can you stand up? Trenton, stand up. Big John, can you stand up? All right. So a really talented team. Felicia's not in here, and I'll show something that Felicia's put together. We have this team here. We're not done yet, but what we're trying to do right now is revamp our website and really make it a one-stop shop to really show you everything that's going on in the city. So we've got a few different modes that we're trying to communicate with you. So there's a text.gov, right? And you get a text every day. So for example, today was our kickoff of the spring paving season. That goes out, tells you where they're at, where they're operating. We'll talk paving here in a second with Public Works. We have an Instagram page that Felicia's got back up, and she's going out. Some of that is great stuff with just kids playing in the park. A lot of it is our employees that are hard at work, doing great stuff for the citizens here in the city. But what I want to show you, our website's fine now, but it is not very interactive. This is a kind of a rough draft, but I'm going to have John push play. But you're going to kind of get a flavor of where this is going to go. We've scoured numerous municipalities. I got the best talent in the world sitting here in Bluefield, the folks I just mentioned. And this will just give you a very quick 20-second blurb of what the webpage is going to look like. Good, John.
It's weird. That is weird.
John, you're fired. Thank you. All right. But when you, if it would play, all right. Can you get us, John, or you think it's not going to play?
Maybe refresh.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to refresh.
John can't bear all the responsibility. I did make the. Okay.
One more shot here.
That's why Trenton's going to grad school.
There we go. Yeah, so the top's going to scroll, right? You got all these beautiful pictures, but now we're getting to the projects, right? And then we're going to get into, these are all very quickly, you tap, you go, you can scroll and give the interaction that most of our youth like. But down at the bottom, you can see the Instagram, the Facebook page. We'll also have the CVB Instagram in there. And so this is going to get updated, but no matter who you are, heck, if you got family coming in town or a relative that lives somewhere else, and hey, what's going on in Bluefield? You can actually steer them to this website and they'll see what's going on. And they'll see the hard work. They'll see where the money's being committed. And it's very easy to go from. If you're a real estate agent, you can get on here and you're trying to sell a house. You can go in there and scroll pretty quickly and get a very good idea. We did not communicate that well with our previous page, and this is where we're going to. But what I want you to understand is we were trying every mode and thing capable to get the word out on what we do and be transparent and show everything. And I've got a very talented team here, the folks I just mentioned, and this is going to be a huge step forward in the right direction. And like I had said previously, we have looked at hundreds of websites, everything from Charlotte, North Carolina to New York City to Lewisburg, West Virginia to Grand Junction, Colorado, to try to figure out what is the best, what do we like, and what will resonate with our folks to give them a very enjoyable look on our webpage and everything we do. Can you scroll for me a little bit, John? So here's an Instagram post, and I'll just show you this real quick. This is what we threw on yesterday. Felicia's been at this for about 10 days. And this is just a quick a snapshot. You see Trent in there, hard at work. He's doing some planning right now. We had a developer in town yesterday, and he's doing square footage in the city. That's Curtis right there, working on the state streets for all, looking at some of the maps that we have going on. But this is going on every day, earlier than 9 o'clock. So don't worry, your city employees are in there working, all right? These are guys out here working, doing some of the planning. These are public works. And trash guys out yesterday, getting all the trash. All right, one of our great, that's Eddie there, one of our great trash truck drivers. This is Joey, the stormwater team out here working. So, and sir, you made a great point about your trees up there. I just want to put it in context. The current configuration of the city, you got about 30 guys. 6 in stormwater, another 24 public works individuals. They're doing everything in the city. That's trash, that's paving, that's leaf pickup, that's obelisk. That's hey, you tasked to fix things at Mitchell Stadium with a couple of Rick's guys, about 4 that he has on his thing. So you got about 34 guys that are manning the front. Any call you get, hey, there's trash on Cumberland Drive, cups that somebody threw out the back of their car. They go up there and try to grab that. So I just want to put that in context for you. It's not an armada of 200 guys that work in public works and we can just send them all over and 20 cleaning guys over to Parks and Rec. That's not the case. They work extremely hard. They juggle. Curtis, is the number 2, and Candy are juggling that piece, and we'll get it done. It's not an excuse, but understand that, hey, we're out there doing it, and that's why we're making some of the decisions we're making so we can grow and get more firepower on the battlefield to get this stuff cleaned up and get it where you need to go. But we're trying to get that out to you and show you what our folks are doing and help you understand and be informative and let you know when the pavement's coming and all those other types of things. And with Felicia Holcomb there in the back has picked this up, and she runs our Facebook. She runs our Instagram page. She's doing an absolutely phenomenal job of keeping everybody informed, and she's posting daily, hourly to keep you abreast of what the latest and greatest is in the city of Bluefield. So with that, I'm going to shut up and let Mr. French talk to you a little bit about the spot paving and some of the paving that's coming up, starting today, actually.
So we probably should have moved this a little closer to the public works section. We'll do that in the future. That way I'm not up here twice.
Yeah.
Both of you. As you can see, this is our dashboard. I think you can click on that and make it a little bit bigger if possible. But this is what we utilize, the tablets for the technology that we have implemented. All these are real life. We went out, looked at them, logged them, took pictures of them, measured them, and figured out where we have a pothole at. We are not, this list is not 100% current. We still have a few streets to get to, but we've made a concerted effort to actually find out where the problem areas are. And based on this list, this is how we will go section by section, grid by grid, and take care of the paving in the city. We denoted, as I mentioned last time, the streets that have the most potholes, the ones that we should just pave. We utilize this list for that purpose. We also looked at, just as the gentleman mentioned on Thorn Street, where some of the previous streets that were paved, how they have been upkept, and what our maintenance plan going forward is. So we are utilizing. We will be out. So as Cecil mentioned earlier, we are. I think it's quadrant 3 right now that we are in today, paving a couple of streets, and we plan to be in that quadrant all week. We will work section by section and hopefully get through the entirety of the city between this fiscal year and next fiscal year of getting these potholes knocked out in the summertime as the asphalt plants are open. Any questions? Thank you.
All right, thanks, Curtis. Thank you, John. And again, I've got a call today with one of the senior FEMA reps. As you know, they're still in the area from the flood and some of the hurricane work. I still encourage all the residents. We post daily. As soon as I get a blurb from FEMA, any updates they have, we're getting those out on social media, kicking that out on text.gov to help as many residents as possible. I will tell you my optic on it right now. We've had volunteers in trying to get trees and debris cleaned up from a lot of our areas. There's still a lot more to go, and we were working to try to find a solution. Just massive magnitude of trees that were taken down that hurricane that I know is financially stressful and difficult for all our residents to handle. So we are working through that to try to get a good solution for the community. Keep going, please. Again, go back to John. I'll hit this one more time, but this is another mechanism that informs folks every day of what's going on in the city. This is our text.gov. It is very simple. You sign up, you do not need to respond, you can, but it just sends you a text of what's going on today. This morning it was where they were starting our first day of paving. And Felicia does a great job with John updating that and keeping everybody informed of everything that's going on, whether it's a Hope Works conference that we had this past weekend or paving like today. Okay. Keep going for me, please. Just a quick update on the fire department. Give you the photos real quick. It's pretty hectic for the fire department here the last week. On the left, I think everybody was pretty familiar with the brush fires over in Bland County on the other side of the East River Mountain. This is just some, most of West Virginia side responded. Virginia did a great job of handling it with their DOH or DOT folks and all their fire departments in that area. Unfortunately, did not get to us. So we were spared that issue. We've had 2 house fires here in the last week. one on West Street and one on Hell Street. Hell Street's down by the Midway Tunnel. Yeah, so we've had some challenges, and I would just ask folks to be extremely careful with your electrical and the things you're hooking up inside your house when you go forward. Okay, keep scrolling for me, John. Rick, some updates you want to give on Parks and Rec?
Sure. So our swim season's coming up. Here's a slide here that Mary Ann's put together. Keep going. We're doing registration for that now. For the summer league. Got new steps that came in to the pool. Rachel's trying to keep everything safe in there. The other ones were a bit rusted, so all that's been taken care of. We had the mainly marathon runners in the Bluefield City Park. They usually come in annually. They're running in different states. So they were able to knock out Virginia and West Virginia with their marathon down there. We're glad to have them keep going. These two employees, Rachel and Justin, went to the suicide intervention training. It's a wonderful thing. We try to stay active down at the Spit Rec, keeping trained and also information available for folks to where they can go and that kind of stuff. And so I'm glad to see that they volunteered to go to that training and took it on. Keep going. Just more of the upcoming programs, the dance recital, April 22nd. That's our year-long program, and they have a winter spring program, and they're doing their Granada. It's free, so come down and watch it. We've got a rock climbing event for the kids out day of school, taking them over to the Whitfield Community Center for indoor climbing, swimming, and so forth. Justin organized an Earth Day park cleanup, which Cecil, I believe this is the one day before the city park cleanup. One day after. So that one's just focusing on all the parks, and we're trying to get citizens to come out of those different times, working with staff and help clean up those parks in recognition of Earth Day. The pickleball tournament, we're going to, it's the Big Deal Classic, and I think that he's got the outdoor tournament coming up too. We hope that makes. It's the first time that we offered a pickleball tournament. Keep going. Lifeguard class coming up in April. We are trying to get more lifeguards. So if you know anybody out there that's 15 and over and wants to work at the Fit Rec or any other outdoor pool, I mean, we hire from this, but a lot of people do come in and get training for our program there. Easter egg hunts in the pool. Rachel's does that every year. Swim lessons, just keep going. Rentals, keep going. I think that's about it. We do have the space for rental, so you're seeing a lot of our advertisements for the upcoming. And then the summer activities list. Marianne's got the brochure. Will be coming up for the summer very soon, and it'll have all this kind of information in there. But we put information out early for the camp so people can register. I think that's it. And just a couple of quick updates. The bathrooms over at East River and Hardy Park are just about finished, so they'll be ready for the season. The shelter at Hardy Park is up online and is being rented already. We've got some rentals in there. And then fortunately with Public Works and the stormwater folks, the train should be running. There was a lot of work there with the hurricane, and those folks have been working hard down there. And the other projects are moving on in the city park with the splash pad and RFPs going out for bathroom concessions and so forth. Any questions? Thank you.
Seems like the grass contract's been awarded already.
Yeah, we're gonna do it ourselves this year. Yeah, we got back on it. First.
So, back again. How you all doing? Public Works, I think this is just one of those many cases that you get to see where we stretch I'll call it our expertise into many different arenas and fields. Public Works not only maintains the streets and sanitation, but we also do maintenance for the camera systems and traffic lights and many other facilities within the city. We assisted John back here in IT and fixing some cameras, replacing some electrical in some different places. It's perfect, maybe certainly. This is actually the splash pad work, and this was contracted out, the pad part of it was. We have done, and have started to put in the water and the electrical, we're waiting on the AP to come and put the transformer in for the electrical. And we still need to run the sanitation, we're installing our own manhole and connected to a lower manhole in the park. But we tried to do a lot of these things in-house to save money. We do have quite a bit of expertise, we are very blessed in that fact that many of our gentlemen know how to do this. With very little oversight, so this is just another instance of great work that they're doing to help further the city along and save some money. And that, it's a short one, we've already talked about potholes, so that's the other major thing that's going on this week. Any questions?
Go get the potholes filled.
Thanks, Mayor, that's all I have.
Awesome. Go ahead. Any motion to adjourn?
So Mayor, you want to introduce, sharply dressed man.
I sure don't know how to do that. I use this. Okay, so our new director for VITA is joining us today, even though he's not officially on the city's payroll. But Mr. Sam Wolford, and Sam, if you want to introduce yourself to everybody, you have a list of accomplishments a mile long, so I don't have all of those in front of me. But we do appreciate you you coming on board, and we're looking forward to hitting the ground running with the projects that are in place and some of the new things that I'm sure you're gonna want to accomplish as well.
Well, thank you, Mr. Martin, and appreciate the opportunity to be here. Early, right? I'm not officially on board yet, but I'm very excited about getting on board, trying to get prepared so I can do exactly what Mr. Martin said, hit the ground running whenever I do start on May 5th. I've actually been in the region, Southwest Virginia, West Virginia. I grew up, right out the road here at Springville. I went to Bluefield State College and graduated in 1991. My first job out of college was here at the city of Bluefield, working in engineering and code enforcement and lots of different areas. So I had an opportunity to be here for about a year before I moved on to Tazewell County. I worked in Tazewell County for 22 and a half years, doing all kinds of different things from engineering to 911, developing 911, running 911, public safety, technology, workforce development, economic development activities, working with Jim Spencer, who I am replacing. Just a lot of opportunities to do a lot of different things there. For the past 9 years, over 9 years, I've been working with an organization called Gen Edge, which is the manufacturing extension partner for the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I've been working to help manufacturers, engineering, and technology companies to innovate and compete and grow their businesses. So I would go in, work with them to understand what their markets are doing, understand what some of their challenges are, help them with process improvement, everything that a manufacturing business may run into, technology business may run into, engineering firm may run into that was a challenge. I was there to try to help them find a resource, find a way to solve that problem. So now Mr. Spencer is retiring from the city of Bluefield, and it's an opportunity for me to come back. And I feel incredibly blessed to have that opportunity to come back here and work where I started. I am very excited about getting started and continuing to build on what Mr. Spencer started and go from there and grow. I think the city is a great place to be. I've always loved Bluefield. It's a part of my youth, a part of my life. So I very much appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Awesome. Well, welcome. You should probably stay away from him. He'll put you to work. All right. Anybody have anything else?
No, sir.
All right.